Honda's CEO, recently he said that, he gave some excuses for why the company wasn't ready for electrification. And let's be honest, look at Honda's EV sales worldwide. They are minuscule. Less than 2% of their car sales worldwide. Now, keep in mind, 20% of all cars sold worldwide this year have been electric or plug-in hybrids. Predominantly, though, that's a pretty big number of electric car sales this year. Honda has played almost no part in those sales, but Honda's saying the only way it can get people to buy its EVs is to force them. And it says, well, they can't be coerced, they can't be forced. Honestly, some of these comments to me show a company that are in crisis. This is what you call a company being disrupted. It doesn't seem to even know it's happening, though. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Guys, I've just had my new solar system installed, which is amazing because it's going to charge my new EV. And it'll charge it really, really easily. I'm getting about 105 kilowatts of energy every day. That's enough to charge a Tesla Cybertruck every day, for example. So if you want to get solar installed, if you're in Australia, I highly recommend doing it. You'll save so much money. I used a company called Resync Solar. I'll put a link in the description. And if you use that link, you do get a bit of a discount. I don't get anything from it, by the way, just letting you know. Honda CEO. He says that consumers don't want EVs and can't be incentivized to buy them. Clearly, the Chinese government disagrees with Honda's CEO. And I'd say the Chinese government have been a little bit more successful than Honda has, considering BYD has now leapfrogged Honda. BYD is now actually, as of August and July, it was the third largest manufacturer in the world. So Honda's strategy is not working because it's being disrupted right now. Honda sales are in free fall in China, which is by far the biggest car market in the world. BYDs are increasing. Clearly, Honda you'd have to sit back for a second and think of your Honda. Okay, what do we want to do here? The goal for our company: make more money, sell more cars. Another company is taking our sales away. They're selling EVs and good plug-in hybrids. We're not. Maybe customers do want them. But instead of doing that, it's like that real stubborn Japanese, sorry, Japan, but it's true, real stubborn mindset. Don't change, blame consumers, right? Honda's saying they're spending $700 million to retool plants and $3.5 billion to build a battery plant for mass EV production. But then they're saying that even subsidies won't coerce people to buy EVs. In addition to that, Honda have shut down factories in 5 different countries, manufacturing facilities in 5 different countries worldwide over the past year. It shut down 2 factories in China, and in fact, two more factories. It is basically saying, we just keep putting them on hold. In other words, they have two more factories where the staff have all been fired and nothing's happening there. All the facilities are on hold, and they're not counting those in their shut down factories because we may start them up again one day if people want to buy those old cars that those factories were making. Anyhow, speaking with the drive at the 2024 Monterey Car Week, President and CEO of American Honda, Kazuhiro Takizawa, he talked about EVs and consumers. He said you can't force the customer to change their mind, really, and to some degree, you can incentivize them, but we just can't force the people living in, say, the Midwest with no charging stations. In the Midwest, is there no charging stations? Is there any facts supporting this? Well, this was news to me. I thought, hang on a minute, Honda, I had no idea that there was no chargers in the Midwest. I actually did some research on this. I realized that actually in the Midwest, people do have houses, fortunately. They do have electricity, and they do have power points in their houses. Shockingly, Honda's CEO believes that they don't. He believes they all live in caves. In addition to that, I did some more research, and it turns out there's actually thousands of DC fast chargers in the Midwest. In fact, I believe, what was the numbers? 1,000 chargers are being added to the American fast chargers to the American charging network every single week. The Midwest it's doing fine. So if you want an EV, you live in the Midwest, yes, you'll be able to charge it, contrary to what Mitsubishi and Honda have both been saying recently. Anyhow, Takizawa says the problem is consumers won't make the change from internal combustion vehicles to EVs rapidly, even with incentives. So he's saying this won't happen because He thinks if he says it, that'll make sure it happens that way, and then Honda won't go bankrupt, for example, right? At the event, Acura revealed a performance EV concept. Apparently, it's going to be really great, but of course, as you know, Honda's EVs in America are actually General Motors EVs. They're just simply rebadged and slightly restyled. They're actually the EV platform from GM. So basically, it's a so-called joint venture partnership. It's actually a rebadging partnership. It is, honestly, if you don't believe that, then have a good look into the details and you'll find out that actually Honda EVs aren't just GM EVs. So, pick, if you want to buy a GM EV or you want to buy a Honda EV, just go and look at both companies. Whatever model is the cheapest, between the two manufacturers, you can just kind of sort of play them off against each other. Anyhow, Honda is, to be fair, they are spending a fair bit of money on EVs, but really, they're in a position where they are so far behind. I think the race has already been run. We're already looking at, Geely and BYD manufacturing so many EVs with such advanced technology. The technology that they're using in EVs from some brands in China is literally at least 10 years ahead away of Honda's new electric cars. So they're so far behind that there's just nothing they can do to catch up. Therefore, if they say consumers don't want EVs, it makes them feel better. Makes them have a good night's sleep. Guys, what are your thoughts about this? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.